The Three Sides to a Story is a pop culture podcast provided as a public service, but is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Three Sides to a Story or the hosts. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the podcast does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed on Three Sides to a Story are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the view of any entities they represent or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact 502-696-5300 and ask Daniel Cameron why he didn't arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
Yo, you are now rocking with Three Sides to the Story, the pop culture podcast for the people. They say there's three sides to a story, one side, the other side of what it really is. Each episode will tackle topics from three perspectives, try to get to the truth. It's your boy Tony B with the homies Rex, Cruz, and Aubrey. Follow us on Instagram at Three Sides to a Story, on Twitter at Three Sides Pod, on Facebook at Three Sides Podcast. Subscribe, tune in, and turn us up on all your podcast platforms.
You're not rocking with the best.
Before we get started, let's give our boy Passport P a quick birthday shout.
Yo, shout out to Passport P. Yo, and follow Passport P, PS on Instagram. The homie Passport P, International All White.
All white.
Yeah. Happy birthday, homeboy.
Yes, sir.
Straight up.
Happy birthday.
Real live talk.
And speaking of All White, Kanye
Oh, boy.
just jumped on Instagram again, and he dropped a presidential campaign ad, his first one, and it's I think a month out from the election, less than a month.
Something in that space, something about there.
Yeah, so he dropped his first
Chicago's own.
And yo. Let's just say that
is.
too. You know, he is Chicago's own. And Ye's fam is our fam too. You know, shout out
this nigga's not my fam, yo. So,
hey man, I mean, I'm just saying, man. I'm saying. Let's talk about what he's doing with this campaign, though. What is he really doing?
Wait, hold on. Is it a campaign? You already know. I gotta ask questions. So, is it a campaign or he's just? It's like what? Distraction.
Well, that's what I want to know. What is it? Yeah.
I guess if you were to define a campaign, you would have to have some sort of clear objective, right? Or a mission or some shit, a direction.
100%.
Or you just wake up and be like, yo, I'm doing this shit.
you just wake up and you do that shit.
Maybe.
And so what does it feel like more? Does it feel like there's any...
He woke up and feel like doing some shit?
Message behind it? Okay, yeah. Because when I watched the campaign ad...
it looks dope.
It's shot dope, yeah. You know.
Yo, are y'all kidding me? You thought that shit was dope?
I said
it's
the way
clear.
it was shot, it's clean.
Yeah. It's a clean video. The content in it
You thought it looked
was
bad?
mad stupid
Wait,
to
did
me.
it look bad?
I thought creatively it was terrible, yo.
It looked bad or no?
No, Kanye is a horrible actor, and he doesn't
That's
come
not
across.
what I'm saying. I didn't say the content. I just asked you, did it look bad?
I mean, he had like
He didn't answer the
footage.
question.
No, I'm asking you, bro. No, I'm saying like his footage was already pre-recorded. So, I think Kanye's thing was, man, like, let me show you some dope footage. Then I'm gonna also show you some pre-recorded footage. And that shit didn't look good.
So you were looking at it from a creative director's lens, right?
I'm looking from a creative point of view.
And I guess Kanye's putting it out also, the way he's looking at it is probably from that same, in his mind, he's putting it out from that same perspective, right? Because he's a creative director also, right? So like in that comparison, you're saying it was whack creatively, like.
Yeah, it was whack creatively, and I feel like
not just the messaging, that you're saying like the whole shit was whack.
Aubrey said that shit looked bogus as hell.
Yeah, I think so, man. Like, I don't think that Ye is not creatively driven. He's creatively driven, man, but at the same time, like,
He just doing some
he doesn't
bullshit.
have a message.
Right. But yes, that's back to what I said.
There's no concept. So you just seeing like creative shit.
So,
right?
That's what I'm asking.
that's what
you.
I said.
So you're saying that it's both the message and the content and the
visual.
I think it's the content, bro.
the content.
I think it's the content. Like, it didn't seem like it had a point of view. It was like, yo, I'm Kanye West, and this is my message.
Right.
Well, what the fuck are you saying, though?
I mean, I think that's important to address. Like, what the fuck is he saying, right? So, like, again,
did you take
love the
anything
Kanye
away
from the shot and everything, but yo, what he's saying in here, I think, no, I didn't, because what I took away from it is that he doesn't know enough. He's not informed enough about politics, U.S. politics, let alone geopolitics, to be the president of the United States. So what I took away from this campaign ad, and again, I think Kanye is the greatest artist of our generation, but
That's what you said.
But that's another story. But I think what he's saying is crazy. I hate to say crazy. Is wrong because it doesn't connect. Like you said, if he's talking about if the message and the visual doesn't connect, it doesn't make sense. So if you're a person running for president of the United States and you're talking about something in your very first campaign video about the U.S. Constitution and religion, when there was separation of church and state built into the Constitution, that tells me you don't understand enough about the country and laws and the foundations of it to even be in this conversation.
What you got, Rex? I think that the fact that, damn, this is a difficult conversation, Tony B. Like, I think anytime you start mixing religion and who you are as a person and how you relate to religion is a very bad situation to be in for running for politics, right? Like, the fact that homeboy is like, yo, no abortions. I don't believe in abortions.
Who's homeboy? You talking about
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah. Like, and as much as I love the creativity that comes from that brother, I think the biggest thing, man, about it is that what is your point? What is your purpose? And we haven't heard it. And it's only been based around Christianity. Right? Like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I believe this and I believe that and I believe that. But it's all based around Christianity. So is your point to like detract us from like voting for who we want to vote for? Or do we want to vote for Trump? Or do we want to vote for Ye? Like,
or Biden or
Well, let me ask you
that's
about
what I'm
that.
saying, like Biden, Trump, or Ye.
Let me ask you about
nobody
that.
wants
Aubrey.
to vote for
but
fucking
at this,
Ye.
I mean, I guess in the fundamental aspect.
I mean, you'd be surprised though, right? We were talking about this. Cats are posting mad pictures on Twitter with their voting sticker and their "I voted for Kanye" or their ballot with Ye.
I'm gonna ask a dumb question real quick. So, like, is it even like logistically possible for him to make this shit happen?
No, he can't.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
All
not.
right, cool.
He's not on all
Not
even
cool,
on all the
but
ballots
that's what
in
I'm
all
saying.
states. So it's not even.
Why is it happening? If it's not
that's what I'm
even,
saying, like,
why is it being allowed to happen? Why is it happening? Why is it even? I mean, essentially, it's a distraction because it's a topic of discussion. Clearly, that we're sitting here talking about. But those, however many votes you were about to say from 20%. What was the number you were about? You were about to say a number, Tony.
No, I mean the number I wanted to talk
Right
about.
or wrong number, but what's the number? Just give me that real quick that you was gonna say.
The which number?
Like how many percentage people voted for him or something or
No, they were saying the other day, right? Like it was like remember we saw the tweet about the 40K, but it was from a poll from like July.
Even that 40K, whatever 40K represents, fake, real or not, that 40K is a distraction from what should be really focused on, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
because if it's, and I apologize for cutting you off, but if it's not even possible, I mean,
Why
even
you
if we
doing
woke up tomorrow and said, yo, let's all vote for Ye, everybody in Chicago, you know what? Let's fucking vote for Ye, right?
Why are you
is it
doing
possible
that?
for him to really even win?
No, homeboy's a square.
That's I mean, I'm not
square,
agreeing with the square part, but I'm just saying
What you mean you don't agree with the square part?
that's not the topic of discussion. It's a distraction
No,
ultimately
it
for
isn't.
what we're doing.
But that makes him a square.
Yeah,
yo.
it's whack.
Yeah, it's whack, man. Like how
There's
is
no
this dude,
purpose.
but is
for
it dangerous? I mean,
yes, it's dangerous.
Is it dangerous?
That's what makes him a square.
So
Because
okay,
you're fucking with it,
break-
just in general,
go-
just to be kind of fucking with it.
Yeah.
It's not even like you did, and I wouldn't agree with it, but you're not even doing it the right way to distract people from one or the other.
Homie
You're
is
just
square.
fucking standing in the middle of the street and throwing flags up for no reason.
Homie's a
Well,
square.
You know what I'm saying?
Aubrey, I want to.
You're not using your voice to, and I'm steady hogging the mic, but
No,
you're not
you're
even.
good. Go ahead.
You're not even using your voice to like direct a movement.
I hear you, but that's what I'm saying though. Like Aubrey's saying he's he's a square, right? You're saying like you're just hogging the mic to hog the mic because you want attention, basically.
I was saying
right?
me, I'm hogging the mic right now, but he's just
No,
doing
but
some
basically that's what he's doing too.
That's what he's
Right?
doing
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's
what
what he's doing
too.
So let's talk about that though. Like first, Aubrey, I want to ask you. You were saying like he's go into what you were just saying. You said he's not what?
I think he is square, man. I think that the fact that homie is not like in tap with some of the real cats that he's in tap with, like makes him a square.
So tell me, if he's a square though, if he's a square, what does that have to wait? Like I want you to connect that back to what we're saying about like from a politics standpoint and this situation, right? Like if you're a square, okay, like I mean, I would say everyone that's running for office is a square, right? So
I think what makes him a square, man, is that he has a lot of circles in his environment, right? I think he has a lot of solid dudes, and we all know those cats, right? Like we know people that's in his circle,
yes,
and they solid dudes, right?
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say who they are, but we know who they are, and you know we ain't gotta tell everybody else. So the fact that he knows them, the fact that he knows them and is not listening to what his elders are telling him makes him a square to me, man. Like you don't fit inside my circle. Man, like I don't understand like how you can have people that are so knowledgeable and enriched in the culture. And you not listen.
And you not listen to them. And Aubrey, we talked about some of these people, and again, we're not going to name them by name now, but
not at all.
We talked about some of these people in the last episode, right? And we talked about people that are our inspiration, that drove us. And these are some of the same people that you're talking about that are in his circle, that put Kanye on. So I hear what you're saying, man. And I think I get like... I don't know if it's inspired is the right word, or I feel like at least like he might be getting steered on the right path when I see those pictures, right? Like those IG pictures when he's like when it's those people around. But then when then that goes away, and then it's these other people that we know are not the right people. Like,
man.
I mean, like
outside
Tony
of
B,
them,
man,
does he have a campaign manager?
No,
does
Tony
he
B.
have
Like,
what about
Tony B? You my guy.
Does he have a PR guy?
I would never let no motherfucker lead you the wrong way without saying something, bro. If somebody came in and was like, "Hey, Tony B, you should go sell goddamn Cheetos," nigga, I'm not gonna never let nobody let you sell Cheetos, bro.
Maybe it was a good idea. You might.
No, but it wouldn't be. No.
That's right though. That's right.
It's not a good idea, bro. Like, if I know my man,
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
And I know who he is as a person, I'm not gonna let no brand or anybody else come convince him that it's the right thing to do.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing when the tweets go off, right? Like, you can't control the tweets, right? That's him tweeting off of his phone. Like, he's going to say what's off his top of his mind. He's going,
same as
right?
Donald Trump,
right? So you can't stop that, right? But the campaign ads, like the videos that someone is producing, that people are reviewing and editing, at that point, somebody can come in and say, yo, you shouldn't say this. Not that you can't say this, you can say that, but you shouldn't say that because it's not factually accurate. And at some point, facts matter. Regardless of where we're at in politics right now, facts matter, right? Yeah. So you can't someone needs to come in and say, like, yo, bro, that's not factually accurate what you said about the Constitution and religion.
Nobody's telling them that.
No one's telling them that. So that's, I think, the problem, right?
So, they letting them play itself.
Yeah, with that being said, my man should just kind of keep that cool.
Some of the people some of the people that we know, Rex, that we really know.
I don't want to talk about this shit.
That's
no more.
next to Kanye.
So what do you think about this Lakers and my man LeBron and them? I don't even want to talk.
The last question I want to ask about that.
This shit is a waste of energy.
Just yes or no question. Is it going to impact the election?
It might, but yeah, I mean, cats like this yes, I'm sure it will, but with the hope we don't put energy and don't pump that shit. We don't want to even talk about that shit, man. I don't even want to hear about that shit no more. So anyway, let's move on to the next. What about the Lakers, my man LeBron? Some shit that actually is factual.
I mean, bro, last week
shit that's factual.
Right, okay.
Wait, hold on a second real quick. Let's rewind how many weeks back to what happened to your man, Aubrey? Should we pull up some tweets, texts?
Which man?
Some group texts. Giannis, LeBron wasn't going to do it. LeBron ain't the king. He ain't the man. Here we are, fast forward the end of the season.
I told everybody on this podcast last week that LeBron is the best player to ever play the game.
What'd he say on that text, though?
I don't give a fuck what I said on the text. So I'm telling y'all what the people heard. This is our fourth.
So what's the real time, right?
This is our fourth podcast.
Yo. So I mean, no, Aubrey, you're right. You did. I want to give that credit where credit is due because
he put a
you asked a question. You asked a question and you didn't say he was the GOAT. Aubrey did, but before the ring, Aubrey said he was the GOAT. So Aubrey.
Yo, he's better than Michael Jordan. I think that way.
Keep in mind, this is coming from somebody with a out of town perspective on. It's just an anti-Chicago type of cat.
He got the fours on though. I mean,
yeah, I got the fours.
Yeah, what kind of colors are those?
Hold on.
That ain't the red and black.
Let me go back, man. Don't you ever interrupt me, you janky ass nigga, yo. I was trying to talk about some other shit with the. What was we talking about, Tony B?
Talking about LeBron.
Nah, I'm talking about before that. And this nigga Rex Cruz jumped in and interrupted us.
I mean, I was complimenting your fours, but what I was
talking about Ye and all that bullshit.
You gave Bron, unlike
I just want to make sure
some people
that I address Rex Cruz. That's so he understands that Ye is full of shit, and I don't trust the nigga.
In that perspective, I agree.
I don't trust the nigga.
But I'm not putting energy into that shit.
Yeah, I'm not putting energy into it either. I don't trust it, and I don't believe in it. But Rex Cruz don't ever cut me off.
Shout out
again,
to that boy Anthony Davis.
Nigga. Yo, see, like how you just throw shit in like that, yo, man.
Yo, because the question I actually
shout out Anthony Davis. Like what? What are we talking about?
Aubrey, brother, the
talking
question
about world champion.
The question I actually asked you was about the Bron comparison. You were the one last week that said
I said LeBron is the best player to ever play the game.
And that's what I said. Like, that's the question I asked you.
Yeah.
You said that last week.
Yeah.
And now, and the question we were going back and forth on, young Rex over here was about the ring, right? If the rings matter versus the tangibles. And we said, well, what if he gets the next ring? Well, now he got the next ring.
He got the ring as he should.
As he should. So is he? I mean, you obviously said he was already the GOAT, Martin.
Yeah, he's a GOAT for sure.
Rex, I mean, where we at? Like,
I already told you.
Oh yeah, where we at, Rex? Like,
we in Chicago,
how does
nigga.
this?
Wait, where we at? We in Chicago. You forgot?
Rex,
four rings, four finals,
but I don't
MVP.
see. Look
Rex
down at your
feeling
sneakers.
himself. He feeling
Look down
himself
at your
this
sneakers,
week.
though. Look at your sneakers. What kind of
Look
sneakers
at your
y'all got on?
sneakers. What kind of sneakers you got on,
I got
Joe?
Pumas on for the cool cats.
Yeah, exactly.
But what y'all got on? What y'all got on? Mike's?
I ain't got on nothing. I got on tennis shoes, nigga.
None of y'all niggas ain't wearing LeBrons, right? No disrespect. I'm just asking.
I mean,
well, hold on. Am I right? Am I right?
What she got
time
on?
out, man.
She got the the Bewitches 7.
Mike is still that guy. LeBron is definitely that guy. Trust me. But like he said, just put some respect on my name. No, trust me. I mean, at the end of the day, Mike's the GOAT. You know what I mean? LeBron is right
Mike
there.
is the GOAT of your era. Stop being an old nigga.
I forgot you're an old head.
No, I just told you to stop being an old dude.
So,
like LeBron, and I told y'all, last week, I'm like, LeBron is the most dominant player to ever be in the NBA. There's nobody else, bro.
Shaq, LeBron, definite.
No, but LeBron went to what, 3 teams, 4 teams, and won a ring with each of them, yo. Who else has done that?
First player to win a ring with 3 different teams.
Yo, Rex, who else has done that?
Bro, I just want to
No, I don't want. I want to hear your point of view.
I'm reestablishing myself.
I don't want to hear your point of view, bro.
LeBron, you just
all
asked
right,
me.
I just don't want to hear your point of view. Big. So I'm gonna talk to Tony B. Tony B. LeBron, right? And we in the Midwest, and you know how this dude get down. He gets busy.
He gets busy.
There is no reason that we can't talk about LeBron being the best player in the league. But he
is the best player.
It's only subjective when you start bringing in people like
the Chi-Town,
Chicago niggas.
Chi-Town.
These are the same cats. If I would have asked probably 5 weeks ago, y'all would have been LeBron ain't even this, LeBron ain't even that.
No, I told you 2 weeks ago.
Giannis.
Yo, I told you 2 weeks ago.
Come on, man.
No, Giannis is the best new player.
I would say during LeBron's career, I've definitely.
Yeah, you out here.
What's
loose,
the word
bro.
I'm gonna
Yo,
say?
You out here loose.
So
Man, forget it.
let me
Forget about it, bro.
let me chime in here with a kind of
I hate
unbiased.
these motherfuckers with that Chicago shit.
No,
B.
so
I
okay,
hate that shit.
Aubrey, since you hate that, let me chime in here with an unbiased view because I'm from Indiana. You from
Whack ass
Milwaukee,
Pacers.
man?
This
Hey,
nigga only
man.
got Reggie Miller. That's all
Hey,
y'all
hey,
niggas
time
got.
out, time
You
out.
can't
Hey,
talk about nothing
Reggie.
else.
Hey,
Throwing hands with
Aubrey,
Detroit.
time out.
Malice
Bro.
in the Palace.
Bro,
Malice
you
in
better
the
go back
Palace.
and watch the Last Dance, like all these
yo.
salty
Y'all had
LeBron
some-
haters, Jordan
Yo,
fans,
y'all had some- y'all
and
had
listen
some
to what
ill
Mike
Reggie
said.
Miller's nice.
What did
trust.
Mike said?
They put out the competition
toughest
right there.
team
Was
I
the
played
Pacers.
was the Pacers.
No, I get. Trust me.
He was most
Yo,
scared of the Pacers.
you know what? Real
bro.
quick, who was y'all number 2 and 3? We know Reggie, right? During that era, who was your 2 and 3? Not position wise.
Rick
but
Smits
who-
was a killer.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
And we had the
I
Davis
used to love
brothers,
Rick
bro.
You
Smith,
couldn't
yo.
stop.
I used
And
to
we
love
had the
Rick
Davis-
Smith,
bro.
yo.
He
Yeah.
had that dunk that
The
nobody
Duncan
was
Dutchman.
Who was the number 3 in that era?
Bro, we had Jalen Rose.
No,
we
number
had
3. Number 3. Who's the number 3 in that era?
Dale Davis and Antonio
Yeah, the
Davis.
Davis brothers.
Yeah,
They had that down low.
Bro, we had a tough team, bro.
No, they were solid.
That's why, like, Charles
That's why they
Oakley
used
and
to
Charles
back down on
Smith
the Bulls
couldn't.
because we didn't have a tough
They
down
couldn't.
low.
Wait, they knew they was coming in. Charles
Nah, they was
Oakley and
beating
Charles
them
Smith.
down.
Everyone was
I
scared
forgot
about them
about them
except
cats.
us.
Man. I forgot about them.
You got
cats.
We
two-
was
you
real.
got two
The
Davis
90s era
niggas
shit was real,
and
bro.
Rick Smits.
And Rick Smith,
And they had
And Rick
Detlef Shrimp and them niggas.
Detlef Shrimp, Jalen,
Woo.
bro. That whole team,
That was mean.
Reggie.
So that's
Man,
why we in.
the
what
legacy
about,
of that team, Mark Jackson, bro, that team was crazy, man. Come on,
What-
give the praise to the prop.
What about 2020?
Yeah, I give y'all props. I want to be on record saying that, yeah, that Indiana team was absolutely amazing.
It was
So again,
amazing,
nobody
bro.
was
And,
thinking
and that
about
Indiana
Milwaukee.
team spanned generations, right? It went to Jermaine
These
O'Neal.
niggas
Nah,
talking
nah,
about
you
being
gotta-
the best
nah,
losers right now because
Yeah,
we
but
all
nah,
know that the Bulls were the best.
You got to relax, though, as far as like generations.
Y'all gotta
Y'all
stop
had
your
one
hands,
generation. It was your generation.
No,
and after
bro.
that, it was no other generation.
Nah, bro,
So
the
what about
generation, the Mouse and the
2021?
Palace.
What about 2021
That
next
was-
year?
that was
With
our generation, too.
who's trying to go to Miami and get on that Jimmy Butler ship? Anybody running down that way or what?
I fuck with Jimmy Butler.
Let's
It's-
talk
Jimmy
about
Butler.
Jimmy Buckets real quick.
First of all, been Aubrey gonna talk shit because I'm gonna say I've been talking definitely about my man Jimmy Butler every year, getting better. That Chicago nigga.
He's one of the
Nah, he's a dog. G.
hardest workers in the NBA, bro.
He a dog,
Like,
bro.
I mean, like that's
He's a dog, my G.
undisputed.
He was supposed to
like,
do gumball with
indisputed.
us last year.
Oh,
wish
shit,
Ronnie
right.
Ronnie Ron.
Shout out
Yeah.
Gumball.
Yeah.
I wish Homeboy would have went to Milwaukee, but I get
So,
it.
but real quick, they said Miami is about to put a full court press to get Giannis to come down there.
Oh,
I mean, this is nothing like
Man, let's
for
get off
me.
this.
I'm,
Yo,
no,
what's the
I'm
next
serious.
subject, yo?
Yo,
Yo,
no,
we
Giannis-
talking basketball
Yo,
real
no,
quick.
But
Yo.
I don't understand why Cash keeps saying Giannis is
I
going
don't want to go
somewhere.
back to
he's one-
Giannis.
He's not
though.
going anywhere.
Because-
I don't want to go back to Giannis though because he's
No, but I'm talking about Jimmy. I was talking about Jimmy is what I was talking about.
But you said Giannis.
No, but I said Miami. I said who's going to Miami to make them better with Jimmy for next year?
I don't know, nigga. Ain't nobody going to goddamn Miami. Who gives a fuck, nigga? Like, Giannis is not going nowhere, so stop saying that shit, man. Knock on wood.
But yo, let's get back to the point at hand real quick.
Right, get back at the point, because Rex is on some bullshit.
This is what I'm gonna say. Last thing I'm gonna say about the Mike LeBron comparison. I don't think it's fair to compare them at this point in their careers.
I'm not even comparing them.
Yo, you out your mind, yo. You already started comparing.
No,
right,
bro.
all right,
Listen,
go ahead.
listen.
I'm done, Tony B. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying in the GOAT comparison. The reason I'm saying this is that we're comparing Mike's full body of
Yo,
work.
this cat Rex is crazy, yo. Yo, this nigga's crazy.
Yo, listen to me, man. We comparing two body. If we're gonna talk about GOATs, you got to be talking about two full bodies of work, right? We got Mike's full body of work. We got Kobe's full body of work.
LeBron is still playing.
He's still playing. We ain't got his full body of
What
work.
if he win 5 more rings?
And that's what I want to talk about real quick before we switch topics.
Then it's a wrap.
If we look at this shit in real time, bro, Mike played for 15 years.
Was
Kobe
it 13
played for
years?
20 years.
13 years, bro.
15.
Check. He took off a year and a half. Just double check.
15
You
if we
know
count
I'd be
it.
right.
15 if we're counting the
The
Wizards.
bandwidth
years.
was 15. No, hold on. Go ahead, keep talking.
All right. Kobe played 20. LeBron is going into his 18th, right?
He just finished his 17 to be exact.
I can't agree with none of that shit. I don't know if it's
I mean, those are facts.
factual.
For at least for they're 90% truths. Outside of the Michael Jordan 13 verse 15, which I think is 13. But Tony B basically hit him in the bandwidth and them cats.
What's dope though,
No, go ahead.
in a certain way, we can look at all three of those players as a two guard, right? Right.
No.
I'm saying to a certain degree we can, right? Jordan was a 2.
Yeah.
Kobe was
Kobe's
a 2.
LeBron is technically
LeBron
a 3.
played, but
Playing 1 and 2.
but he plays 2.
Reggie
He
Miller
played
was
1,
also
but
a 2.
we ain't talking Reggie.
We ain't talking about
Reggie
no
Miller
fucking
was
Reggie
awesome. Shout out.
Miller. Yo, what you talking about?
I have
Shout
one
out
saying,
Reggie,
like,
man.
finish
Shout
this
out
and then I
Reggie.
have one thing and then we
if
move
you had
on.
to have a 2 to go to war with, who you go with? I might damn near had to go to war with. I'm gonna go with Kobe.
There you go.
But I'm saying the best player at that position is LeBron.
There you
Okay,
go.
so Aubrey, let's stay.
Hold on.
Stay right there.
Over time.
There you go. No, you good.
That's what LeBron does. LeBron is the best physical specimen
For sure.
that plays over time. Jordan can't compete with that. Kobe can't compete with that. But Kobe, if I want somebody that's going to be the best 2 of all time, it's going to be Kobe.
It's gonna be Kobe. So
I'ma
stay
just-
with that. Stay with that. Stay with that. If it's Kobe, like to me, like if we're talking about Kobe versus Mike, and we're just looking at the totality, to me, it's still Mike.
Some of this,
No disrespect to Kobe, R.I.P. being like rest in heaven, you know that. But it's still Mike to me, right? So like the competition to me is between LeBron and Kobe for the next spot or whatever, or the who
so
could be better.
Mike did this in 13 to 15, ultra dominant in that period.
Here we go. That's Chicago.
No,
shit.
not even. I'm about to say all of them. I'm about to give you the cliff notes. You said Kobe to what you just said, because he's already RIP, but Mamba played how many years? 20 years, right?
Yeah, 20
Right.
years.
So we said Mike is arguably 13 to 15, Kobe's at 20, and then we just said LeBron's still playing at 17, right?
Still playing.
So in theory, basically outside of LeBron, Mike basically accomplished more than I want to move on, but I just want to put a quick body statement together. Mike's accomplished more than them each in the
body
less
of
time.
work.
Less time.
That's what we have to compare it to.
If that's
You're
what
right.
we're talking
Yes.
about now, it's in
I
less
agree
time,
with you. I agree
right?
with you. It's in less time.
LeBron's definite done,
And
I'm leaving in.
Hey, and Candyman killed more niggas than Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's all I'm
what
saying.
we-
About to go to the
no,
next.
that's what. It doesn't matter.
Totality
bro.
matters,
They both
bro.
were killers, bro.
The totality, the body of work matters. Totality
You
matters.
gotta relax.
No. That shit
I'm just
matters,
saying, like,
bro.
this dude is arguing with me about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James.
Who you're arguing
Yo,
is the
you
best player.
cannot win. Who wins? It doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah, I wouldn't
That's
be upset.
no, bro. Before we move on, that's all I'm saying is that's what it has to matter about is the totality. So, like, I think at the end of the day, we have to wait to compare LeBron to the totality.
We don't have to wait till
We
LeBron-
can't. It's not even fair to LeBron to put him out there like that.
He's still playing. So shit, with the season just ended, obviously.
I think y'all.
Are you
bugging.
mad about it, Aubrey?
No, I'm not
Lakers just
mad,
won.
man. I just
You
think
sound
that
like you mad about it.
No,
What
I
do you-
just think that like
What are you
LeBron
thinking?
gets a lot of hate, bro.
Of course he does.
But LeBron, what I said before, 2 episodes before this, he's the black Superman, yo. Like he is better than anybody.
Yo,
as far
speaking of-
as when it comes to games, statistics, championships, playoff appearances. Hold on, Tony B. Assist,
No.
rebound. Hold on, Tony B. Rebounds, and then what means even more than that, the black community.
There it is.
We know, but that's not factored.
So-
None of that shit is factored into who's the best player in the NBA.
I don't give a fuck about what people think, man. I'm
Except-
talking about what I'm talking about, man. I ain't talking about what
Well,
motherfuckers
man,
talking
fuck.
about, man.
Hey, man.
So now that the season is over, with that being said,
Y'all
You
figure
said
it out.
Superman, motherfucker.
No, I
you
said black
Superman.
Superman.
Okay, but you said Superman.
Black Superman.
whatever you said, Superman.
Black Superman.
Superman. Black Superman.
Superman.
Let's
And,
talk about Superman.
Jordan wasn't no black Superman.
All right. Well, I mean, Donald Trump said he's a black
And as much
Superman.
as I love Kobe, he wasn't no black Superman. I love Kobe. R.I.P.
Donald Trump is saying he's Superman, taking this vaccination.
So even before that,
or these treatments when he got COVID.
So with all
Let's talk about that.
How many players? I don't even know if we know the number, but how many people were in and out the bubble to go through? And from what we've heard, there were no COVID positive. Nobody tested positive inside. I guess that pop up. We'll call it an experiment, right?
That's true.
Right? I mean,
they said it was I think it was 172 non-positive tests. I need to fact check that number, but it was a crazy amount of numbers.
Wait, how many? 172.
172. Basically, like after that Lou Will incident.
I mean, he didn't come back.
And
with
he didn't
COVID,
come back with COVID,
or nobody
right?
associated with that.
He didn't test positive. He didn't have any positive tests.
No, so that was
No
Young
one.
lemon pepper.
The season ended on Sunday, and
pun.
no one
the season.
The
lemon
whole-
pepper.
the season.
Y'all saw what I did there.
Shout out Lemon Pepper and shout out Magic City. The season ended and no one tested positive that entire time. No one tested positive that entire time.
In the bubble.
In the bubble. So let's talk about that real quick because I think that's important.
They might need to get your boy Adam Silver over here with young Trump. With
that's
Trump
what I mean.
and them.
That's what I mean. Like, why are they consulting? Why are they consulting the
Was it Linda McMahon is like the
Them
chief
niggas
of
can't get
small
no
business.
monkey, man. What you talking about? Motherfuckers ain't getting no monkey, man. Like, that's what it is.
Yo, so look,
Ain't no monkey available in the goddamn in the bubble.
You
No
gotta
monkey
leave
in the bubble.
the bubble. Yo,
If you made it to the championship, you got to bring your wife and
No
the kids
monkey
in
in
there.
the bubble. Yo, we gotta get shirts made with that. No
So
monkey
niggas
in
is
the
monkey
bubble.
in the
ultra hand cream lotion and Pornhub on deck.
Pornhub on deck.
That's videos.com, Joe. Yo.
Super FaceTimes in his joint.
Yo,
Super
but
face
yo,
time.
guys, I want to get back to what we're talking about
No
the
monkey
shit
in the
though,
bubble.
man. Yo, but about the transition from the bubble. Let's talk about the bubble, right? The containment was pretty fucking amazing.
They were
right?
safe.
Like, that was safe, right? You look at at college football right now. Like, no, the Notre Dame president was at Trump shit. They got to shut down like. The NFL is getting mad teams with
Then
mad
the Titans
positive
or somebody
tests and
just
shit.
like missed 2 weeks or something. Right.
And they don't even got nobody. Like they got like 5 people in the stands and shit. Like so. Like my question to you guys is why aren't other organizations, leagues, businesses? Why aren't they using the NBA as a?
Well, I guess in
It's a case
fairness,
study.
it just happened. So hopefully they will.
Well, but they put this plan in motion. This was the other thing
During
I
the
think is
period,
important.
during that quote unquote shutdown, yeah, they put
Bro,
it in
they
motion.
gave them 100. They gave the players and the staff, and y'all can look this shit up. They gave them a document that had 100 pages in terms of how to contain and
The NBA.
the NBA about
Right,
how to
okay.
stop the spread.
Yo, bro.
And they stopped the fucking spread. Why isn't everyone else doing it?
It was Disney, man. Like, Disney is a monster.
No,
Right?
but
Disney
no,
got
you
shut
think-
down
you
too,
think
bro.
Disney's a monster. Go
Disney
ahead.
got shot down too.
What do you mean? What? Disney is an animal.
So why? With that being said, I was watching this in perspective, but there was Patrick Bet David has got a video out and he was just showing the difference. I mean, not to get sidebarred, but in relevancy, Disney World in California is shut down, right?
Yep.
Disneyland.
I don't know.
No, it is shut down.
Okay.
I just making sure I don't mix the names up. Disney, which one? The one in Orlando is open. The one in California is closed. But with that being said, it's the same CEO.
It's the same shit, yeah.
So it's not necessarily the CEOs that's doing the control because if that's what it was,
Fuck out of here, Rex.
Yo, Mark,
telling you facts.
I want. Wait, since you're talking about Florida, I want to talk about Florida.
now stay in the NBA. But this is all related to what you were saying. You said shout out Disney. Disney.
No, I said no. Disney
is using the facility.
No, Disney is the reason that they didn't have any problems.
No, it's not. Disney is the facility. So essentially, if they did it if the capabilities were available at University of, we'll just say, Illinois. It's not large enough, but I'm just saying.
Okay, if
that's what I'm saying.
If it's big enough for amusement park and university, why isn't it big enough for the government? Why isn't it big enough for the White House? Why isn't this shit big enough for the U.S. response? How did COVID get contained more in the bubble?
Because it's Disney, bro. Like, I don't know why we're having this conversation. It's Disney,
wasn't
man.
Disney.
All right.
Disney just has
we talking about NBA,
yes, it was
right?
the Disney because of the
We talking about NBA, right, Tony B?
Yes.
Yeah.
NBA. Yeah, they have no COVID cases, right? Maybe one or two.
None.
But maybe none.
None reported.
Nigga, Disney
none
just laid
reported.
off like
But
Disney
the
just laid
NFL
off like 80,000.
But the NFL are all separate entities, and they practice where they practice.
Individual
So you're
cities.
saying
college-
because it's under an umbrella?
College facilities had their own thing, right? Like everybody has their own way
It's
to.
in and out.
It's in and out. So now, when you think about how Disney locked it down, it's the mouse. What are we talking about here? The mouse locked that shit
But
down.
let's just say it in a sense when you
No,
say it's
bro,
the
like-
facility.
Yo,
It's not
Rex,
the
there is no way to even talk about it. It's the mouse.
You're saying
Rex,
the mouse
it's the
got-
mouse. Yo, you ain't got to tell this nigga what I'm saying. It's the mouse, bro.
For sure.
No, it's the mouse.
So
Are-
why?
What about the mouse?
What do you mean?
The mouse? What do you mean it's a mouse?
The mouse is Disney, bro. Like it's fucking.
You're saying it's a company.
Oh yeah, man.
So
Like,
that's what I want.
They not gonna. Disney is not gonna play no games when it comes to that, man.
Okay,
They
so-
gonna make sure everything is on the square and square.
So let's talk about it from that perspective. So you're saying it's the corporation, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So at the end of the day, the government and the White House is a corporation, right? So
They not as tight as Disney.
well, I mean, they're telling us.
They not as tight as Disney. We
Well,
all
I mean,
know that. Yeah.
but they're of course they're not. They're trash, but they're telling us a story right now about what's going on with COVID, right? They're saying, Trump has it. He's fine. This shit ain't that real. His kid has it, but that's not that real because it's not a big deal for kids. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about that shit, bro. At least I want to talk about this like from this perspective. At least 20 cases of COVID are traced back to this shit. So like the same way, like I didn't mean to switch it from Disney to that, but I was just thinking about Disney and the COVID outbreaks out there. Let's talk about that shit, bro.
Man, let's talk about Wisconsin and they dirty ass. Wisconsin is a disgusting place, bro.
So even with all that, so they're about to start wheeling, dealing these damn vaccines, or what they're gonna do to start controlling this shit?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, in order to open places like
This is what
Disney
they're telling
World and all
you
this
in
shit.
order to.
you gotta
Open.
take it now. We got take temperature checks to get in places. That's not really saying if anybody's safe. So like at some point it's gonna get to the point like, bro, like did you get a vaccination type thing, right? Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't feel like any black person should get a vaccination or
anybody.
any person of color, because we've already been tested on for the last 75 years. We've been tested. Like, cats been like injecting us with all kind of shit, man, to figure out if this shit works. So I don't suggest that to any person of color. But
Let's
you
talk-
do what the fuck you want
So
to
if
do.
you-
Let's talk
just
about
say
the
that-
cultural. Let's talk about the cultural history real quick.
That's a
Aubrey.
fact. Let's do it.
But because I think that's important because like there's two layers to this shit, right? There's the cultural perspective that you just mentioned, right? Like, and I just want to pull some numbers real quick, right? There's a blackdoctors.org
Yeah.
study, right?
Yeah.
It said 58% of Black Americans said they won't take the COVID vaccine.
How many? 58%?
58%. Not
That's low. I thought that's low.
Well, let me contextualize that real quick. There's 22% that say that they have a concern about taking this vaccine. So when you add that together, right, there's 80%
That are questionable.
of black respondents that are questionable, right, Mark? Like, that are questionable about this vaccine, right? And you just mentioned the historical significance. You look at the Tuskegee study.
Yeah.
That shit was from 1932 to 1972. It is 2020. That shit was not that long ago. So, like,
And
as
most of
black
those
man,
cats that saying they may take it don't even remember that.
They don't
even
remember
know.
it.
Not even remember.
That's
Hold
a
on.
great grandmama, Rex.
Hold on, bro.
You know what I mean? That's a
Maybe
great
not, though.
grandparents.
Maybe not. Not even they don't remember. It might even just as simple as they don't know. You know what I mean?
They don't know.
You don't know.
They may not know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, it's not something that like.
We're not taught that history. in
That's what I was
school.
about to say. If you thinking like through, I guess U.S. history, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember in my second year of college, they were like, yeah, you remember 1943 Tuskegee Airmen, blah blah blah. That's just one that we know about. You know what I mean?
They looking at it like, oh, you mean that movie where the black
Oh yeah, I
Air
saw
Force
that in
Jordans were shooting people
2009,
down,
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we love that movie. Like,
I saw that in 2009, right?
Yeah, they don't know what
That's
the
a movie.
studies was about.
That was just a movie.
The syphilis studies was about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was crazy, right? All right. So, like,
Yeah, they killed a gang of our people, man. Let's acknowledge.
You talking about that time and
I'm talking
another
about,
time
like,
in
just the
general,
fact that, like,
across the board? Or?
Let's acknowledge the fact that they tested on our people like they were fucking monkeys and animals. I feel like we should like acknowledge that love, man. We just want to
You
show
should acknowledge the love, huh?
Yeah, acknowledge like we love them and we sorry that happened to y'all, man. Like the same way.
You getting the vaccination?
The same way that we gonna acknowledge
one?
Breonna Taylor. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like all that shit. Like we should
getting
acknowledge them folks that had to go through that bullshit that
Word.
we ain't got to go through. And now we living here to tell you that you shouldn't have to go through that bullshit, man. So I'm sorry that happened to y'all, our ancestors, and for a fact.
And this is what I want to ask you about before we move on, guys. All right. That perspective right there, like the black experience in America, there's no way you can dispute a black person's perspective saying like, fuck your vaccine, I'm not taking any vaccine. The U.S. government or the medical companies that are sponsored by the U.S. government or whatever, I'm going to take this vaccine because of that history, right? So there's that, you know what I'm saying? Right? So how does that translate to you guys as parents? You two are parents, though. Like, how does it work as parents when, y'all kids ain't in school right now, but how does that translate to that?
Yeah, I think more than anything, man, like with Rex, and you can talk about it too, Rex. I think more than anything, man, is that's what makes us like feel fucked up, man. Like, how you gonna like, all right, so let me back up a little bit, man. Like, the big thing, man, that more than anything is that they treated our people like we was fucking animals, man. Like, that shit is disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, we were treated as if we weren't a part of humanity. You know what I mean? Like, and then they tested on motherfuckers, yo. And they did that shit to us, man. Like, they did that shit for years, Rex. For years. And I know our experience is a little bit different because, it is what it is. But I think that our experience, man, like, yo, these motherfuckers did us wrong for a long time. So I feel like, I can't say what I feel on this goddamn microphone, but I feel like, they did us wrong for a long time. And there is no amount of money you can give us, man. There's no amount of money that you can pay us. There is no amount of money that you can, like, shut us up with. You did shit wrong by us, man. Like, so we have to figure out what that outcome is. And then, did you see that motherfucker, the Republican dude, say the other day, or he said yesterday, he was like, yo, he was like, yo, he gave props to when slavery happened. Did you see that?
Bro, the woman that's...
what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but time out. The woman that's on the seat for the next Supreme Court.
Correct. He was talking to her. He was talking to her.
Yeah, she said the N-word is basically not like volatile word in the workplace type shit. Motherfucker, somebody says that shit to me in the workplace, you getting your ass beat in the workplace.
We're talking about the workplace.
Yeah, I think, man, like, those kind of folks, man, don't have no places in our society. And I know y'all three, man. Like, I think that, like, when it comes to shit like that, and white folk like that, and people like that, man, we don't play that shit, man. Like, the biggest thing for us, man, is to get out and make something happen. I ain't gonna tell you to vote. You do what the fuck you want to do. But I will say, from all three of us, is that you got to make something happen.
You got to make something happen.
Don't talk. Be about that shit.
You got to make something happen. I think that's a good way to segue to this next topic, man. Like, you got to make something happen, bro. Like, shoes. We are probably three of the biggest sneakerheads.
I'm not a sneakerhead.
I know.
Honestly, never would consider myself. You guys are. I'm not.
While you in here with these bright ass sneakers, can you? Hey, Jackie, give me the picture of this nigga sneakers while he talking that bullshit. Look at this nigga sneakers right here. This nigga got all colorblind, but it's yellow and blue ass sneakers, yo.
That's
color coordinated ass.
I buy gyms.
Corny ass.
I buy sneakers to wear them. I'm not. I don't buy them to collect
Man,
them. I'm dead serious.
Bro.
Okay, great, bro.
I'm not a sneakerhead. But go ahead.
Rex, who gives a fuck? But you got on some bright ass sneakers, yo. So, yeah, I think this is a conversation we want to talk about because all three of us are like from an era that sneakers mean something. Whether they don't mean nothing or maybe they mean something. But what are the sneakers that we rock with, right? So the idea is like, what is our best 5 sneakers that we rock with? You know what I mean? Like, what are the best 5 that we think are the greatest of all time?
And I wanted to clarify this with you real quick, Aubrey.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the best. This is only sneakers, right? This isn't shoes.
No, this is not dress shoes and those slippery bottoms and all
them
that
hard
shit.
Bottoms that y'all niggas in Indiana
that's what you wear. That's what Jamaican cats wear.
I know.
They wear the slippery
like,
bottoms.
We stay on point like Stacey Adams and
them
shit.
hard slipping slides and nah, come on, G.
We stay on point like Stacey Adams.
I've had probably a half a pair in my lifetime. Of
Shout
hard
out Stacey Adams.
Rex
on the sponsorship shit.
Yeah, Rex culture. They wear those slippery bottoms.
Sub City Boy holler us at that.
You can do
that sponsorship.
You can do the moonwalk.
Sub City said you got them hard bottoms, G.
Yo, so what I want to get into real quick is
the hardest bottoms I used to wear.
Yo, so
Timberlands.
What the hardest bottoms are on the tip? Yeah, Jackie got the hard bottom.
And not the construction joints.
Jackie got on the witch 12s.
The
Kick this nigga in his ankle, please.
The B-Witch 100s.
Just kick him in his ankle 3
times.
I
don't know what the motherfuckers right there.
Yo, so what I want to get into real quick is we just talked about that shit. Like, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. The top 5.
I bet he ain't got no Air Milwaukee's in there.
Of all time. Ain't no Air Milwaukee.
Yeah, you're a dickhead.
Damn.
All right, so I'm gonna start from number 1 to number 5. Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna give my number 1, and then you give your number 1, and then Rex give his number 1, and we'll go through in a circle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As number 1, meaning like which is the most important shoe of all time.
So the shit has to be in ranking order.
It's ranking. So we're gonna start at the top. We're gonna start at the top. Like, which is the illest shoe of all time?
Mark gonna be like, "Yo, my shit ain't in order."
No,
they are kind of, but they ain't. But they are.
It definitely ain't gonna be in order with this nigga right there. That shit is terrible. All right, so I'm gonna say that.
Mark
I'm
gonna
about to
pull
fight
shoes
both
out
of
of
these
his joints.
niggas.
Mark gonna be like, well, these are actually my
I
best
brought
shoes.
3 with me, so just watch.
Yeah. Look at them shoestrings. I'm gonna say the number one sneaker of all time
Of all time.
is
Don't
a
say
shell
no
toe.
dumb shit.
Is a shell toe.
The Adidas.
I could rock with
Adidas
it.
shell toe is the number one sneaker of all time.
Of all time.
In my
The
my
nigga's like
life.
65.
I'm just saying.
Come on,
This
let him
nigga say
talk.
I'm 65.
Shout out to 1945 cats.
1945. Yo.
What'd you say?
No,
Aubrey
I'm just
and Adi
saying, like-
and
Shout out to my
Mr.
pops.
Adi used to brainstorm
No,
together.
I'm just saying, like, I'm a hip hop kid. Like, y'all.
Kid.
Like, there is
There's
no other
nothing kid
sneaker
about
that's
you,
more
bro.
relevant. There's nothing more relevant than a
Hip-hop
fucking
adult.
fucking shell toe, man. Like,
I feel that.
I'm with it, though. I'm with it.
I'm going. That's
I
my
got
number
something
one.
in
What's
there.
your number one?
That's the
Tony
number
B?
one. My number one is the joints I'm wearing on my feet right now, man. The AJ3, man.
AJ
Dig that.
Trey.
And I'm gonna
Dig
tell
that.
you why, man. Because like these came out in the 88.
Them shits look new as hell.
Bro, these
88.
were the first shoes I remember.
I bet he ain't
wanting
never bent down to tie
As a
his shoe and them
kid.
bitches on.
and never had them as a kid, man. So like the fact that I have them as an adult, like that means a lot to me, man. Like,
Dig it.
Word.
but I remember
dig
just
it.
wanting them as a kid and they were always sold out. And like I live in Indiana, like if you wasn't there, like what that day, you wasn't getting them. You know, or if you didn't know somebody, whatever, like worked at the store, you wasn't getting them. So like these shoes to me were the epitome of that era, man.
Dig it. Dig it. What you got, Rex?
So you know,
I know you're gonna be on some bullshit.
so I got
let's go.
3 as my number 1, but it all makes sense.
No,
you
just
already
number-
know.
what's
He
your
got
number one?
Griselda
No, but
as
no,
his
no, no,
number
What's your
one.
number one, bro?
Just be quiet and listen. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep it real
bright
simple.
ass shoes you got on there.
So, Air Jordan 1s. just
What's your number
because-
one?
I'm telling you.
All right.
Air Jordan 1s because when they came out, just different colors, the band, that shit was crazy. The joint said, again, this is my number
it's
one.
number
No, be
one.
quiet and let me talk. I got
Man,
one
you
A, B,
can't-
and C. You know I'm
Man, you
hot.
can't go
You
A.
know I'm coming.
No.
I got one A, B, and
No,
C.
just go with
Hold
your
on, no.
number one,
Listen,
Joe.
because it goes into a story.
Here we
got
go.
the-
Like,
I got the
nah.
88s. I got the Tony B's, the 3s that
Tony
he
B,
got on.
tell this dude we can't keep it moving like
Be
this. yo.
quiet. If you stop cutting
Tony
me
B,
off, I'd be
tell him.
done already.
It can't be multiple in one
The
spot.
88s,
So now you
hold
can't
on.
cut this nigga off.
It's
All right,
the
go.
all Jordans.
I got you.
The 3s that Tony B got on because that
So now
those,
it's 1s, 3s, and what else?
I was gonna say something else because those are monumental. Chicago All-Star game until this last year. Mike won the dunk contest, but realistically for me, it's the 4s. Somewhat similar to your man T. Those are the first joints that I had.
All right, so what? I don't
Shut
understand what
up. The 4s, the Air Jordan 4s,
Yo,
the
why are we
military
talking about
blue.
multiple shoes,
Be
bro?
quiet because they're all in the same vein.
All right,
so
Okay, so you're
so-
saying the 1s, the 3s, and the 4s, and
All right,
right,
so you
but
don't.
the 4s are it because those are the first joints that I was able to get to have
okay,
to physically
so
have. The
1,
other
3,
ones-
4.
Yes.
Why we
Now
still-
go on.
Why are we talking to this dude? This dude just told us 3 shoes when we asked for 1 shoe.
You wasted all the time in between. So go on.
I'm
Okay,
saying my
so
number
Aubrey,
1
you're two.
is shell toes. My number 2 is the Adidas Form. And y'all probably don't remember that because y'all some
No, I do the
squares.
hot top joints. Come on, the Pat
Yeah,
Ewing
high
joints.
top,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
No, they wasn't Pat Ewing's, but
I mean, not the Pat Ewins, but the
Yeah.
joints he was first hooping in. Not the Pat Ewan joints, but
yeah, the
hot
one that
top.
had the straps on them and shit like that.
Yeah. Not the Patrick
Yeah.
Ewins with takedowns.
So
of
you're
those.
an Adidas.
Nah,
And
nah,
niggas 83, those are the only
get into
sneakers at the
Nike and-
time.
I'm gonna get into Brooks.
I know, but you're top
So don't, no,
two.
I'm gonna get into Brooks. I'm just
You
saying,
ain't never
like,
ran a block. Be
my
quiet.
favorite. What you said, Rex? Yeah, what you just said. I'm saying my number 1 was the shell toe. Number 2 is the Adidas Form. I think that's an amazing shoe. Now that's number 2, Rex. I ain't got nothing else to say.
I got you.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna try to keep this shorter. All right.
Yeah,
simple.
please, man, because this motherfucker over here.
My number 2 is going to deviate from this conversation. My number 2 is the Nike. Was it the Air Trainer SC, aka it's 1990?
Agassiz?
The 1990 Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
I was gonna say that's the Bo Jackson boys.
I knew it was a cross training joint.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Bo
I
Jackson
snoozed
boys.
on that. I should have had
Joe.
them joints in there.
And I'm gonna say why this is my favorite. This shoe might actually be up there in a number one spot with these AJ3s to me, because that was the first pair like of crazy dope shoes I remember I was able to get one year. You know what I'm saying? So like I couldn't get the AJ3 through 5s. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I remember getting those bows and flexing super hard with my
them shits
Oakland
was hard,
Raiders
G.
Parker,
I had
starter
the black
Parker
and white,
at school.
the
like,
black and silver. I should say
Word,
my bad.
word,
yeah,
word.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, them
Like,
shits was ill. Anything with Bo Jackson was ill.
the Bo Jackson joints, but I'm talking about not even the. I was wearing the orange and gray and blue joints with the Oakland Raiders Parker. The original SC Bo Jacksons,
Yeah.
the orange joints. Those were the joints,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Not the,
All right,
not the
Rex
Raider
got-
joint.
Hey Rex, what's your next 6?
Nah, it's
What's your next 5 shoes you got?
real simple.
Can we just get one more?
spot.
93
One
to
spot.
the Air Max CBs for multiple reasons. So Chuckster was for a hot period was my joint. Charles Barkley, the 93 joints a year. They
Oh,
played.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't trip. Come on now, the Phoenix joints.
Killers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could snore on this.
I wanted
dude.
to kick this nigga in his chest. For real.
Too far away, Joe.
If I could hit a pause mute button, or if I had some better sound effects, I'd give him a kung fu kick right now. So that was, I went to this Catholic school, and this is the first year we were allowed to wear shorts, and the first year we were allowed to wear sneakers. So those are the first joints I showed up with in the shorts. Anticlimactic, but there was the CB purple joints, the Chucksters, the Air.
I know
the
what you're talking about. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah. Cats was stealing them
I
in
know
the
what you're talking
hallway,
about.
though. Trust me.
Okay. Aubrey,
Yeah.
what's your next joint?
I'm gonna go on some real live Milwaukee shit. I'm gonna
Oh,
say the
gosh.
Dookies. And the Dookies is
The
the Air
Cortez
Force.
Classics? No, my fault. Shut up. That was a kick to the chest.
Now I'm gonna say the Dookies. And everybody from Milwaukee know what that is. Like,
All 83 of y'all.
Toss 'em.
nah, it's that nigga said it. All Nah, the Dookies is the Air Force Ones. So Air
Oh,
Force Ones have to
yeah.
be respected before Nelly, all that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But in Milwaukee, the ones they released was Dookie Brown. They was like a brown
Oh, yeah.
Air Force
I
One.
had 'em.
So
Crazy.
we called them Dookies. So whether it was white, black, brown, and you know the black, you already know what the black
black
means.
shoe.
The blacks meant a different meaning.
The black means something
Yeah, the
totally
black-
different.
Aubrey-
You know what I mean?
Before we move, wait, we can't move on without talking about this since you brought it up. That matters. The color of your Air Force Ones matters. Like
Yeah.
they were very symbolic. Like you just said, the black Air Force Ones. Like everyone knows what the black Air Force Ones
Yeah.
were about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You
That
was a
was
dope boy
some-
or no?
The white
Yeah.
joints was the dope boy joints. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The black joints was the hitters. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the brown joints, I think were
You
the
had a
most
little
underrated
style.
joints.
I
Like,
had them joints. I had the brown joints.
the
All right,
I
so
did
hold
too.
on. So fellas, let me back up. And let me say
In
yeah,
07.
I love the Dookies, right? But I'll say the illest Dookies was the high tops from what was homeboy's name?
Rasheed Wallace.
Woo!
With the straps.
Yo,
on
them
it.
Rasheed with the straps.
Rasheed Wallace,
Them
shout out
Rasheed
E40.
Wallaces, yo. Oh
Sheeds,
my
the Sheeds,
god,
the
yo.
Sheeds.
Them Rasheed Wallaces
No, they were
was
just
one of
called
the
the
illest.
Sheeds.
The Sheeds, whatever they want to call them.
They had a joint. They had a silhouette on
And
the
they
With
had
the
joint.
silhouette, with
the
the fadeaway,
Yeah,
with
the
with the straps
motherfuckers right
hanging.
there, boy.
Boom.
Yeah, that's 3.
Okay.
What's your 3?
Okay. I mean, my 3. I hate to be on some tying shit too, but
You about to get some Reggie Miller's New Balance?
You talking about them British Knights that that Detlef strip was wearing?
he was talking about He talked about the Glenn Robinsons.
Big Dog didn't have no. I don't know why Big Dog.
Big Dog should have had some damn shoes.
He should have had some
it.
shoes, yo.
Shout out Purdue.
He would have
Shout out Purdue.
Shout out Big Dog. Shout out Big Dog. The
That
fam.
motherfucker was
Big
averaging like
Dog.
40 points a game. Yo.
Yo,
he got played
that was
of the year with Chris-
one of the
Chris
realest
Webb shoulda got
motherfucking
that
ballers
shit.
of all time.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck
time.
what anybody
Shout
says.
out Big Dog.
Shout out
Glenn
Big Dog.
Robb, yo.
Shout out Glenn Robb.
Real spit.
Yo, but the joints you were talking, wait, next joints, I would say for me, 3 spot, the 4 and the 5s, the Jordan 4 and the 5s. Because I can't separate that. That generation was it was 3 years in a row. It was 88, 89, 90. Like I can't.
So you got a couple Jordans in your shit.
See what I'm saying?
Bro, that
y'all
genera-
niggas wanted to hate when I said mine up front, but now you're like, oh yeah, I got
Man,
two.
no.
Look what
No,
you wearing
Rex,
right
Rex,
now,
Rex.
Joe. Like, what is you wearing?
Rex,
right now,
That was
yo?
another kick
Time
to the
out though.
chest.
Time out though. Look what we're wearing. I
Nigga
got the
wearing
3s on. You
Pumas
got the
and shit.
4s, man.
Clonics, I got Pumas on.
It wouldn't be a surprise if he was wearing
But
the
these
5s,
out of town
you know?
niggas got the Jordans on.
You know, the 4s, the 3 4s and the 5s. I think you can't compare that sequence.
That's what I'm trying
My
to
feet might
say.
stink.
in the game. Like
Mine were actually the ones,
You
the
can't
3s,
get-
4s.
Aubrey,
you know?
you can't.
I'm about to get there, but we ain't even got there yet.
Aubrey, let's talk about sequences.
This nigga Aubrey kicked
Hold on,
This
where's
is the
you at,
best
though?
sequence in the game ever.
Yo,
3 years in a row.
where's you at,
Takes
though?
the
Where's you
sneakers.
at as far as your number 3?
The 3s
The
and
4s
4s.
and the 5s.
All right,
4s
cool.
and 5s.
What you got, Rex?
Stan
number
Smith.
3.
Adidas. Timeless.
Stan
Gotta
Smith.
get a pair for the summer. You know you're
Shout
gonna
out Stan
You know
Smith.
you're going to at least about 4 barbecues. You know what I'm saying? You know
I
you're
forgot
probably
about
gonna
the
have a
Stan
wedding.
Smith. Yeah, you got.
You know you're gonna have a wedding.
Yeah.
You
gonna
know you
spill-
got somebody both
Yeah,
party
that's
or
a
two.
Man, you gonna spill some barbecue sauce on
That's
Stan
why
Smith?
you gotta buy
Yeah,
about
that's a
3
fact. That's a
pairs
fact.
for the summer and just make it look like them shits never got crunched.
You gotta wear black joints to
Yo,
the barbecue.
so
Nah,
for
bro, it's just
my
whites.
number
You go
4,
fuck the shoelaces up. Go ahead. Aubrey.
my number 4, I'm rocking with Rex Cruz, them Stan Smiths.
Word.
It don't even matter. I
We
ain't
finally
even think
actually
about
agreed
that.
once, huh?
Yeah. I'm just saying, but them number 4s, that's Stan Smith, ill. And shout out to young Woody White, young
Shout out
Woody.
Woody.
Young
Woodrow.
Woody like reinvented that shit and made that shit fly.
Hey, should
and the
I actually-
whole tennis game. And you know, you guys are
Oyster
talking-
Holdings.
Yeah, Oyster Holdings. 100%.
Shout out Woody also.
My man
Oyster
Trump
Holdings.
be out there
Yeah.
getting that work.
Yo, check out Young Wood White.
And check out the tennis club they got out there, man. That's real
shit.
shit. A black-owned tennis club
Yeah,
out there,
but
man.
Wood White is he reinvented all that shit for Adidas.
So that's where I'm gonna go next. My 4 spot is a tennis shoe, and Woody will definitely understand this. And
You better not come
Probably-
on no Reebok bullshit.
nah, Woody probably be
Y'all
mad at me
didn't
for
know
putting
that
this
Tony
at
B
number
was
4.
USA top 10 tennis players at you know what I mean? I think it was like 98.
Man, nah, that
Nigga
shit
was on
was
the top of
that shit was
USA Today.
2018.
What you got, young
What
Tony
you
B?
talking about? The Air Tech Challenge 2s, aka the Entree Agassi.
The Agassiz, that's what I
With the
said. See,
lava.
I knew
With
we had
the
them
lava,
somewhere in
yo.
there.
Them
Lucky I
Agassiz
wear
is-
them shits in
Yeah,
here,
I knew
bro.
we had them shits in it. That's why I
I
said it
should have
before.
worn them shits in
And
there.
yeah, Wood. I saw Wood wear them motherfuckers one time.
Your
Them
boy
Agassiz
Reefer had
is-
them shits on.
Reef had them motherfuckers on. Them motherfuckers mean. Joe.
Man, them shits was. Let me tell you why this shit was that real, right? Tennis in the 80s and 90s was not the cool sport to play, right?
That's right. That's right.
It really
when
never
when we
was.
were playing tennis, like, guys was like, man, what the fuck, man? We playing football, we playing basketball, playing baseball, whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, we playing tennis.
Yeah.
So, like, when Andre Agassi came out with that, tennis was considered a conservative sport. Andre Agassi came out with that flex, with that swag, like, that shit was real. That shit represented us.
Bro, real quick, when y'all tried to play tennis, I was like, to tell you what you were saying, I was like, yo, this is some cool shit. In high school, they was like, nah, get your ass in this weight room.
Now get your ass in the room. They
He was
want
like,
us
nah,
out there.
Yeah, they want us in the, nah. Real talk. All right, so my turn.
That's true.
I'm going to say the next joints for me, what did I put on? The A6 gel lights. Just because they're super super interchangeables, yeah.
Okay.
Yo, them motherfuckers dope, yo.
Them shits never change up, you know what I mean? They change up, but it's always the same, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, we switch a style. Colorways, you know, collabs.
The colorways
all
and
that kind of
I
shit.
love how like
The
they
souls.
The souls. That's what I love about them.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Shout out my man Burn It Down and the niggas at Kith. But
And then, all right, so then my last one, my number 5, I'm going to go Jordan 1s. Yo. Jordan 1s, this is probably one of the illest shoes ever made. Yo.
Ever.
The simplicity, the beautiful.
we kind of agreeing again.
So, yeah, I'm
shit's
saying
crazy.
like, but I
The
wasn't going to put
timing.
them number 1 because everybody going to put them number 1.
The timing, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm just saying like.
what
yo,
they stood for.
Yeah. That shit was a piece of art.
That's crazy because if you ever been to the Nike headquarters, Jordan headquarters, they have the original the joints in there in the middle of it when you walk in, like a piece of art.
Like it's a piece of art.
Shouldn't
Like
have-
it's a piece of art.
We'll
Yo,
wrap these
so
two up. We'll wrap these.
The,
and then I might
the
take
last
my
one
man
I'm
on
gonna
the
say
burner.
is going like for my last one, going back to what Aubrey said about the Air Force Ones. To me, the Rockefeller Air Force,
Ooh,
like
you went there?
I'm
you
going
went there, Tony B?
I'm going there because like
God damn.
to me, the Air Force Ones were the there was two shoes to me. There was the sneakers. There was the white on white Air Force Ones, and there were the wheat Timberlands. Man,
Yo,
like,
you might as well have went with that. Remember that 50 Cent commercial when Jay-Z? You remember that shit with the little fuckers like, yo, we should have some shit? Remember that?
man. That's what
Hopefully
I'm,
that's not what you're talking about.
no. I'm talking about the Rockefeller Air Force Ones. The Air
Oh, with
Force
just a little
Ones,
logo on it.
yeah. To me, those were the dopest shits. Like because that was probably my favorite shoe.
That's just a plain dookie, though. It had a logo on it.
It was, but that logo on the Dookie represented that era from like 99 to 2003 to me better than anything else. Like
Yeah.
to me, those were the dope boy shoes from the 90s to 2000s. Everyone I know, black, brown, white, that was on the block, that was slanging, they had
Yeah.
white on white joints. So that just captured an era to me.
So I think what's amazing about everything that we talked about, yo, is that.
Shit, you didn't give me a chance to get my last joint.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Hurry up, man. Hurry up, yo. Hurry up.
Mine are real simple. All black Chuck Taylor high tops.
Oh shit, I forgot about Chuck Taylor's, yo.
That was it.
You right, Joe. You right.
They had to make the list.
You right. No,
But-
Chuck
but-
Taylors have to make the list.
I mean,
Never
I think,
changed.
Any color, Chuck Taylors
I just
have to
figured
make
the
the
black
list.
though.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good segue into the next conversation, right? Like the
Well,
Chuck
hold-
Taylors, right? Like how like
I think the Chuck Taylor joint is doing. But when we start thinking about like that era, right? Like 60s, 70s, blah, 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 right? We got to think about like people that inspired us from that era. And, as everybody knows on this, listening to the podcast, we got to have the burnout, right? And the burnout is really about like talking to cats.
Hit them niggas on the burner.
Yeah, hit the niggas on the burner like that you can't really talk to. So whenever you get a chance to talk to cats like that, we want to give y'all the opportunity to hear what they talking about. So we want to talk to cats on the burner, put them on a jack, and then like see what they talking about, right? And then get some education on some real pimping shit. So that's what we're gonna do, Joe.
Hello?
You know what I mean? Hey, Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's happening, brother?
I'm doing okay. Is this Daniel?
Nah, this is me, man. This is Tonio.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good, man. So you sitting on the podcast with, three sides to a story, and the whole idea is about us being on the burner and, the whole nine. Like, you can't talk to anybody unless you talk to us first.
Charlie,
So-
what up? Rex Cruz.
You got Rex Cruz.
Charlie, what up, bro?
Hey, how
Tony
you doing, man?
B.
You got Tony B. And
How you doing, Tony?
so some of these folks are some of my best friends in the world, man. So we just wanted to sit down and chop it up with you, man, about, I think, man, more than anything about like, how do we make money off of art? You know what I mean? Like, how do we think about how to invest in people that we love and we love their art and how to get money? So
Well, when you say how to get money, you mean like as an artist or as a consumer, like an investor, collector? What you mean? Just so I can understand.
I think, tell me what you think, bro.
You know what? See, I'm both. I'm a collector.
Dope.
I purchase as well as I represent, and then I also trade. Fortunately, with certain artists that have
Damn.
respect for what I do. But in any case, I am not necessarily looking for work that's going to have value in a couple of years. But I'm looking at work that moves me. But I pay a lot of attention to who's out there, who's getting articles written about them, who's showing up in museums, who's getting major exposure. So I think that's something to really kind of consider. I think ideally, it's like in the real market, the Jewish folk, they pretty much control the market. They determine what the value of work is. They've always undervalued Black art, and so until we, and then ideally, it's like even approaching like athletes or real estate moguls who have millions of dollars, until they started buying Black art and reselling it for a large amount of money, it's always going to be devalued.
So when you say is Rex, so when you say because of this, just so cats understand exactly what you kind of mean. So it's meaning like until somebody's talking about it, or until somebody's actually purchasing it, or until there's a demand for it.
No, it's not enough for people to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like everything about action these days. So it's like what was exciting to me was about 5 or 6 years ago when Jay-Z, when Kanye, when Swiss Beats, they started talking about buying art and talking about certain artists. The only thing that was different about like what they're doing is they're already talking about artists that are in the millions of dollars.
Right.
But what we need to talk about are the artists that are in the thousands of dollars. And the reality that there are certain people, like a good example would just, let's talk about me. I've been doing this for 25 years, maybe longer. I lose count. But, my work doubled in a week. And it happened as soon as Time Magazine came out. Before then, I was doing pretty good.
When you say the time, just so cats, so let's take 2 steps back because I don't think I'm up to speed. This again is Rex, but I don't know if I'm up to speed on the time. But just so cats understand, when you say the Time Magazine came out, what was that? They were covering something you did, or
right. So like there's a couple of things. Like I did a project. Like Selena Gomez reached out to me,
right,
in their camp when Black Lives Matter when Floyd was killed, and she wanted to dedicate a whole month to Black activists and Black artists and everything, and she has like some 700 million followers.
I got all types of.
What's that?
I got all types of questions real quick. So how did Selena Gomez just get in tune with you? Just, I mean,
right.
Random. So you just hit a random story. I got a random story. So why you said Selena, just the sidebar, but relevant. I ran into Selena Gomez in an elevator when we were in Dubai like 6 years ago. But yeah, crazy enough. But how do you? But that was random. But how does Selena Gomez just one day hit you like, yo, Mr. Charlie? I know you know Antonio, aka Usaki Brothers. Can you do a piece for me? How does that work?
What it is I've been putting out. It's going to help me. I have a presentation I have to do next week, and it's on putting seeds out. And then letting them germinate and water them. And this is perfect. Thank you. This kind of made me realize I had no idea what I was going to talk about next week. All right. Yeah. Anyway, so I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. So what I've been out there promoting. I've been using social media. I've been doing art exhibits, and so my name is out there. And so I have no idea how they found me, but they found an image that spoke to what they wanted to do and said, "Can we use this image?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So I'm like, they did that. It wasn't any money involved, but I went from maybe 14 to 20,000 followers.
Right.
And then 2 weeks after that was when they released the John Legend CD that I did the artwork for. Then
your phone started hitting.
What was that?
Then everything started hitting you, right?
Yeah. So that was like John released the artwork a week before he released the music, and made a big announcement about the artwork. So that increased my visibility. And but what was really odd about that is when 2 weeks later I get a call from Time Magazine. Time Magazine they want me to do the cover, and it's a special edition about race and violence in America and how it was called America Must Change. And this guy, who was the art director, used to live here, but he's been art director for Time Magazine.
Where are you at?
Here. I'm sorry. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Got you.
But he's in Atlanta. He used to live in Atlanta. He's been in New York about 6 or 7 years. He's seen my work 6 or 7 years ago and said, I think the work would be appropriate for the cover. Are you interested?
Yo,
and
Charlie,
Dan's like, yeah.
let me ask you about that.
That's Tony B.
This Tony B. How is that? Like, so you're saying like this is like beyond just art? Like, how is it impacting change? Let's talk about that. That I think is what we want to talk about. What people want to hear. Like, how can art impact change? Right? Like.
Okay, you know what?
Or wealth.
That's crazy.
Wealth
is a part of change because if you're accessible to wealth, that allows you the opportunity to change.
We have to have wealth to impact change, right?
Well, we know without wealth, you can't make a change, right?
Right?
Somewhere.
See, that's the reality. See, but the thing is that as much as people have been struggling right now with the pandemic, I talked to a gallery I've been working with for 22 years today, and they're having the best year they've ever had.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, so that means people got money. They just like what's happening? People are sitting at home looking at their ass wall saying, I need to put some stuff on my wall. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they got the money. And so like my sales have gone up through the roof. And it's because people are bored, people are sitting still, people are seeing stuff, and people want to do something. And like so a lot of my work has a lot to do with just dealing with race, dealing with being black people in America. You know what I mean? But I'm also fortunately like with Time Magazine. Go ahead.
But Charlie, like, how are they doing that right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your shit is shut down. Like, you can't do the shit in person. Like, how can you create?
You got an inventory
wealth from art without the shows, without the live shit? Like,
it's all virtual, man. I mean, I'm seeing virtual shows left and right, but my studio is 7 minutes from my house, and so I'm in the studio every day, locked down. And just using that excuse for no visitors, because I love just being in here, just creating. So I create. I create, and I've been creating for so long that I have a huge ass inventory of art.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like when people needed it, it was there. It was like when people are like, Time Magazine said, "Who is this guy? I got to get something." I'm like, I got it, and I've been ready. I've been waiting for you guys. What took so long? You know what I mean? That was my position.
Hey, bro. So you got a question?
I was going to ask a random question, but ask yours
first. So hey, bro, man, like you are the first person to ever introduce me to hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
From bar one, like when I was like maybe like 9 years old or 10 years old. You're the one that hit me to hip hop,
right?
What is your inspiration right now musically when you have to paint? Like how do you or what do you listen to when you're doing like your art?
That's the answer. I just had the answer for a publication, and the answer is probably going to disappoint you because I'm all over the place. Yeah. There are days I'm sitting here listening to Leontine Price,
right?
You know, Norman Lewis. Norman Price. And I'm listening to Patsy Cline. You know,
Pastor
I'm listening
Troy.
to
Patsy Cline.
who
is Patsy Cline?
He said Pastor Troy.
Old
Pastor Cline
singer back like in the 40s and 50s. You know what I mean? I'm listening to old hip hop. Every once in a while, I put on trap music, but trap music I can't. If I want to warm up to get ready to paint, I can listen to trap.
That's the pregame.
Sit down. That shit doesn't relax me, and I got to be in a relaxed or excited state when I'm creating. You know, I listen to
Charlie. Let me ask you about that right there, man, because I think that's a big question we ask ourselves every day when we in this like corporate and creative space. How do you like maintain that creativity and that artistic control? Like, do you do brand partnerships and do you work with brands? Like, and if so, like, how do you maintain that?
That's a great question.
Integrity.
Your in brand integrity and
That's a great
corporate,
question.
like, you know, your artistic integrity and that shit. Like,
in the beginning, I did what I got paid for.
Right.
Now it's very much about the cost of the idea, understanding what my brand is and what it means to me. I'm very much about negotiating a win-win or walk-away situation.
Swerve.
And there are many a time when I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do that. You know, It may be money. It may be, I'm sorry, I think it's worth a lot more than that. And sometimes it's like, nah, I'm sorry, I can't. You know, I'm that dude that refuses to wear a certain brand clothing and shit like that because they're not paying me to wear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't do that. So it's like, I have to kind of consider that. But I'm in a place, and I've been here long enough that I know that if I turn this down, the blessings will come somewhere else. So now I can say no to a lot of stuff now.
Confidentiality in your work, right? That's yeah, that's definite. That's kind of how, I mean, it transcends across the sport, across the game, across the industry, across the verdict, right?
Yeah.
If it's like, I'm not going to sacrifice my, I guess,
integrity.
Integrity. Yeah, that word right there is like, every time I hear it, you want to tap your chest, tap your heart.
I mean,
you know?
Yeah, like, do you have like a checklist of like, or at least like you gotta check this and this before I partner with you? Like, from a brand partnership standpoint, like, I know it's a hard conversation, but
no. Like one of the things that we're on, like me and my wife, we're on a mission. And what we say unapologetically to anybody we're talking to is it's blackity black. It has to be black. You know what I mean?
What was it?
Hey,
really
Charlie,
say it one more time,
Charlie, say it again.
Say it one more time. I don't think they heard it in the back. I don't think they heard it in the back.
I had another call coming in, and I couldn't hear you one
Say
time
it
just
one
in
more
case.
time.
Say it one time for the cheap seats.
It's blackity black. It's got to be black. It's got to be
black.
You know, and so it's like we have to ask the question whenever we're looking at somebody who's approaching us. It's like, you know, is it black, or is it going to benefit us, many black people, not me? Trust me, when I say that, like, it's going to help my family. It's going to help these black kids out in the street. If it's not going to, I'm not going to do it, and she's not going to do it.
That's
and
right.
she's in a position now where she's turning down some big ass stuff. And I look at it and say, babe, you know what? We've agreed on. And so, you know, it's got to be black. And if it's not black, you know what? See, we've had that conversation about white money and white guilt. So don't get us wrong. We will take white money and white guilt, but we're not going to let them control what we do with it.
Facts.
Nah,
That's
give
an
it to us.
It's 100% right, bro.
Yeah. That's it. Good. Now this shit. I feel like I'm running today. I'm on the track. I got these new shoes on and shit. These Pumas on my feet.
I know he is something brand. Them shits is brand new. Right?
Hey Charlie, real quick. We was talking about our favorite shoes, right? And we're gonna get back to like the art and all that.
Tell Charlie to drop his.
But what's your favorite shoe?
Your top two. Just because
maybe
so you ain't got to pick one.
Favorite sneakers in the world.
You know what? Are we talking brand or shoes?
Shoes.
Just sneakers. Sneakers, like whatever your favorite
specific kicks.
I used to do nothing but Nike, but now I'm really into Adidas.
Yep.
And I had Adidas like when the first leather suede came out, like in the 70s. I grabbed those, and I grabbed the first Nike when the first Gump ran in, and you know, those were my brands. But now it's actually Adidas, and I'm back to Chuck.
What?
See, that's what you said. So did me.
My brother, man. It's my brother right here.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yo, you know the culture, man.
Right?
You know the culture, man. You know the culture.
So, hey, bro. I think the other question I would love to ask you, man, is that when we think about art, man, like a lot of us are afraid to spend a lot of money on art. How do we get into the art game and try to figure out like how we invest in it, but how does it also benefit our family and our friends, and like what's the best way investment wise? Like how do we invest in art and make it feel like it's
the value,
bro?
Understand the value, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Right?
How we make money off this shit?
How we make money off of that shit?
You know what
put
the
money
thing about
into it, not make. You can never look at. Sorry, you can never look into it and say how can I make money off of it, but it's
how can we invest?
How can we invest into it to help make it bigger?
Yeah,
if you come into it,
100%.
I think the important thing about investing in anything is put that money down and step away from it for a little bit.
Yep.
And so it's like I had quite honestly in one situation an inside track on art where it was like, okay, you better grab a couple of these because a major announcement is about to happen. And so I was like, oh shit, let me grab a couple of those, and I did that, and then it happened, and it's like, okay, but I didn't buy it because of it. It was like, this was somebody I've always wanted works from anyway. And I'll tell you, that's the other thing about it. It's like, you always buy what you like.
Right.
You always buy what you think you can live with, because who knows? There have been situations where you might invest in an asshole, who all of a sudden the value of their work dies because of who they are.
Right.
Or they might do something destructive, like do a fire sale where they sell all their stuff half price. If they sell all of their work half price, that means that your work now is valued at whatever the half price was that they sold it.
For life.
So you got to make sure you're working with the right people, you know?
Yeah.
Word.
Yo, so, hey, bro, so before we get off this jack, man, I think
Off
the
the
one
burner.
thing, off the burner joint. So I just want to ask you, man.
Shout out to Burner.
Is there somebody else that you know that we should talk to that's super dope and, you know, don't have access to anybody else? Is there anybody else we should talk to?
You know what? It would be my wife. It would be Dr. Karita Brown, because she's a star in her field, and she's created a whole new field called racial equity, and it's about getting Black folks the money they should have always gotten. But she goes at it directly. She talks to these corporations and tells them why we are in the situation we're in, and it's because you guys don't hire us.
Yeah,
you hire your relatives and stuff like that. Let me tell you some history about it. Let me bring in some authors and professors who've written about this, and let you know that the only way this is going to change is if you change it. But you have to first identify and recognize it and admit that it exists. So yeah, she's that dynamic person that is very inspiring, and she will.
Yeah, we better call her next episode.
Yeah, hey, Charly.
And if for some reason the one right after, but
and
definitely
Charly,
we got to get her.
She just won a ring, right? Can I say that or no?
Can you say that? You know what? I guess you can. She's won a ring. Yeah.
She won a ring with the fucking Lakers.
She works for the Lakers as racial equity. So she just got
shout out
one
to
of corporate.
Pacers.
Yeah. So send me the number, bro, and we're gonna holler at Karita.
Shout out to
Hey,
Pacers.
man, but love, man, we appreciate you for coming through, man. Like, you know, like you one of those folks, man, that everybody can't talk to, but we can talk to. So
you know how it is, man. I don't like talking to people, so that's
I know you don't, bro.
If they could get a hold of me, I wouldn't be talking to them. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, y'all. I hope I said something that helps. It's helpful.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Man, you already did, man. Like we said last time, you now rocking with three sides of the story, and like Aubrey said, you now rocking with the.
You rocking with the best, God damn it.
Okay, I hear y'all.
All right, brother. I love you, man.
All right, y'all take care of it.
All right, brother.
Appreciate
Love you. Bye.
Peace.
Yo, you've been rocking with Three Sides to a Story. Follow us on Instagram at Three Sides to a Story, on Facebook at Three Sides Podcast, on Twitter. Subscribe, tune in, and turn up on all podcast platforms.